So I will call this meeting to call to order at 6:02 p.m. at 425 East 9th Street. This is the Council on Family Resource Center. Roll call will be 1.02.
Okay, I'll do a quick roll call. First we have Brenda Costello.
Present.
And then Sherilyn Alcano. I don't think is here and is not present. Then we have Rebecca.
Here.
Present. All right. Susan.
I'm here.
All right. And Rachel.
Present.
And then our last on our list is Vanessa Van Coor, that I don't think is present as well. And sorry, I forgot our chair, Scott. And I don't think Scott is here either, but may attend later. All right.
Okay, thank you, Wiley. On to 2.01. Introduction of the new committee member. We have Rachel Kingham, who is joining us for the first time. As you all know, we had an open vacancy and we were able to interview Rachel, and she was a wonderful candidate for us, and we believe that you're going to bring some great feedback for us. And so I just wanted to give you an opportunity to just introduce yourself to the council so they know who you are.
Hi, my name is Rachel. I'm a parent of two children, a first grader and a fourth grader going on 12th grade, I think. I've been very interested in the school district for a while because I have two children in it, but I am also a master's social work student right now at UNR. And so a lot of the Family Resource Center, the work that is being done in the centers is really important to me. And so that was my interest in joining. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. We're super excited to have you too. So welcome. Any questions for Rachel before we move on to 2.02? Okay, seeing none. 2.02. So it looks like we do have on the agenda, and I didn't remember this, so excuse me, that we do need to elect a co-chair. So Scott Benton is our chair, and we were not able to elect a co-chair last time. It was on the agenda, and I don't think we were able to elect someone. So we do have quorum today. If anyone is interested, if you have questions about it, a co-chair essentially fills in and runs meetings when our chair is not here. And can give us some feedback on the agenda if we asked for it. So if anyone's interested or have questions, I'll put it out there for the council members that are present. And if we choose to vote, we'll put it up for a vote, or I believe we can push this to the next agenda if we feel like it's something that we need to discuss and consider next time when we have more council members present. I'm trying not to look you guys in the eye and be like, can you volunteer, please?
This is Susan for the record, Susan Sievert for the record. I think that we should maybe table it until we have more members with us.
Okay, we're gonna thank you, Susan, for that. We will not vote today on this, and we will move it to another time when it's more appropriate and we have more feedback from everyone. So moving on to 2.03, we do have to do approval of minutes for our last meeting, September 15th, 2021. Those copy of those minutes were sent to you for all of you to review. This is an action item, and so once you have an opportunity to take a look at those minutes, I do need a motion to approve those minutes.
Brenda Costello, I can make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second that motion, Susan Sievert.
Okay.
And then before you vote, let's see if there's any public comment.
Any public comment? Seeing none. All in favor of approving the minutes for September 15th, 2021, please say aye.
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 Any nays? Okay, the minutes for September 15th, 2021 have been approved. Moving on to.
I just want to note for the record,
Yes.
did you abstain since you didn't vote yes or no? On the minutes? Oh, did you say yes? Okay, okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, moving on to 2.04, review discussion and possible action to review and approve the remaining meeting dates for our Family Resource Center Council. The next proposed meeting date is June 15th. Wanted to put out there if this is, if we want to vote about this or discuss it, is this a date that our council is comfortable with? This would be our final meeting for the year, for the school year. And just to clarify, school year for us is July 1 to June 30th. All right, does anyone want to put a motion forward to vote on this?
I'll make a motion. This is Susan Sievert to go ahead and move to approve the June 15th, 2020, that'd be 2022, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
date for our next meeting.
Thank you, Susan. Any seconds?
Rebecca Paris, for the record, I second that motion.
You guys speak up a little bit.
I second that motion. Rebecca Paris.
Okay, all in
Wait,
favor?
wait, let's check
Oh,
for public comments.
I-
This is an
thank you.
action item.
Any public comment? Seeing none. Moving on, all in favor of next meeting, June 15th, 2022, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays?
Aye.
Okay. All right, we're voted and all in favor, unanimous for June 15th, 2022. Moving on to 2.05, presentation and discussion of the funding status and grant applications for Family Resource Centers in the Washoe County School District, including potential fundraising and publicity opportunities. Who's taking that on? Do we know? Was this Scott? Was this our chair's agenda item? Okay, we might have to table this one because the chair was going to talk about this and he's not here today. I don't have any updates from the last time that we met, and these I know that Scott wanted to talk a little bit about just potential ideas for the council around fundraising. So I think it would be appropriate to move it to the next agenda if we can. Okay. Moving on. 2.06 presentation discussion of the Washoe County School District's year-to-date data and outreach events, including future community events and volunteer opportunities. Lisa, welcome.
Been a long time since I've been here. Lisa Guzman, for the record, and I will share with you some events that we have attended since we met last. So this is going back to October. We have opened a new site in the North Valleys, so we're very excited about this. We haven't had a site out there for quite a while, so it's currently located at Desert Heights Elementary School with plans to relocate to O'Brien Middle School in the next school year. So staff there, Jessie Segura and Edith Armenta, have been doing a tremendous amount of outreach out there with the schools and within the community, making their presence known, which has been very effective. Sun Valley FRC has continued with the mobile harvest program through the food bank. We've had weekly food distribution at our Sun Valley, North Valleys, and Sparks FRC sites. However, the Sparks site has been paused because we did have some staffing turnover and were without family advocates for a while, so did pause the food distribution, but hope to be able to pick that up again soon. At Sparks High School, Catholic Charities comes out for a monthly food distribution, so we have attended that. All of our sites have SNAP outreach, where a worker from the food bank comes to our sites to help people apply for SNAP and Medicaid. We've attended the Join Together Northern Nevada Coalition meeting. We've attended family health festivals, a fall carnival at Robert Mitchell Elementary School, a NET PCC meeting, which is a combined meeting of Reno Housing Authority and DEETR, as well as many other agencies. We had quite an extensive holiday assistance program for Thanksgiving and Christmas, where we partnered with the LDS Church, Catholic Charities, and our schools to serve over 900 families. We have attended meetings of the Family Stability Program, which is looking at a community schools effort. And we presented to workers at Washoe County Human Services Agency. And just to remind everyone that the National Family Support Network does offer their webinar Wednesdays, where you have an opportunity to learn many things related to FRCs nationwide. And the website is on your handout. Thank you. Any questions on that?
All right, so we'll move on. Wiley Evanson for the record. I'm going to go over the FRC numbers served, and I'll pull that up. Sorry for the teams there. I'll pull up the FRC numbers that we've served. So this is just an overview of what we've been able to serve from 7/1/21 to 12/31/21. So this is, I apologize, this was done for our last meeting, and I haven't been able to update this to reflect from December till now. But you guys can kind of take a little look here and see what we've kind of been doing on our end, helping families. Still, a lot of requests for utility assistance through our SAFE voucher program, through NV Energy, doing EAP applications. That's pretty high for us and across all centers. Emergency housing assistance continues to be something that we are processing. You don't see our numbers very high on here. We do refer out a lot to currently the Reno Housing Authority is doing the CARES Housing Assistance Program, which is referred to as CHAP, as well as Washoe County has a rental assistance program that we've been referring out to a lot. But I know all of our centers have been processing those applications daily and getting those families the services and the rental assistance that they need. Food and nutrition also is a big one that we deal with a lot, that a lot of families request and need a service in. So we provide lots of food boxes. We have the mobile food harvest. And I don't know if Brenda wants to speak to it, but the Catholic Communities Charities just opened a new food pantry in Sun Valley. So I know that there will be some additional food services out there in Sun Valley to help the Sun Valley community. And then additionally, providing lots of transportation. These numbers don't really reflect it, but we have provided a lot more in transportation. Brenda was kind enough to purchase some bus passes through some of our grants to supply to some of our youth to try to get to school with some of the blackout weeks. Is that what they're calling it? Yeah. So having some of those issues and students and families trying to get to work and trying to get to school, we've been able to help provide a lot of families with bus passes. And then lots of referrals. We continue to work with families and refer them out to different agencies and different places to get their needs met and any resources that they may need. So if anyone has any questions, I know I've been saying this, I apologize. I hope to include some of the Google information. So we did set up Google Businesses so we could see our interactions, see our how clients are interacting with us, searching for our locations, using our phone number, calling us through that application, so we're able to see how many people are actually interacting with our Google Business. So I'd like to provide some of that to you guys. So I'm hoping next meeting we'll have some of that. And then we're also trying to work on our surveys. We do SurveyMonkey, and we have some surveys that go out to our families to get some of their reflections on how our services went, things that they see that they like, some of the stuff that we may not offer that they would like to see offered. So hopefully we can provide some of that information to you guys, and you guys can put some feedback and some information back to us on those surveys and kind of the resources that we're providing.
Are there any questions about the services and outreach and numbers that staff have engaged in the last year?
Rebecca Paris. I might have missed what you said, but the application submitted, what is that number for? Is that just like a general number for something?
So our applications submitted are any applications that we do through the resource center. So that could be SNAP applications, Medicaid applications. The CHAP applications, some of those things, the Washoe County Housing Rental Assistance Program, those applications. So any application that we actually submit, that we go through the whole process of gathering the information, submitting that application for them, then we'll log that and we'll track that to show that that we're submitting those applications. Because sometimes they'll bring us all the information for an application, and then we don't get all of the pieces or all the things that we need in order to submit it. So we wait until we have all that, and then we go ahead and submit those for them.
So Brenda Costello for the record. As Lisa said, we do in Sun Valley have a new partner. We're partnering with Catholic Charities. There's a new food pantry. So I've said this before at other meetings. We couldn't do our jobs without the partnerships with Catholic Charities and especially the Food Bank of Northern Nevada. On your events list, you see the mobile harvest, you see weekly food distribution, Catholic Charities food distribution, and SNAP outreach. That's all food. So the families that we serve, it's always food, shelter, and utilities. And the numbers reflect that it's food, shelter, and utilities. So we do, through Desert Skies, we have a school pantry, we have SNAP outreach, we have a parking lot distribution, we pick up food at a parking lot, and then we hand it out once a week as well. So again, that's where we meet the families, is at the first level of food, and then help them move on to hopefully sustainability. So any questions?
Okay, checking to make sure there aren't any questions. And our council member
This is Susan for this.
Go ahead.
This is
Susan.
Susan for the yeah. So I just with gas prices going where they are, and that I'm expecting and thinking that you're going to see a bigger need for some of the services that you issue, especially food, because if you're paying $6 a gallon for gas, you're not going to have what will probably be $5 for milk eventually. So I was just wondering if are getting ready to be prepared for that.
This is Brenda for the record. I don't think we've discussed it, but I think we're all internally getting kind of prepared for that. We've already we've made space at Desert Skies because we're planning on picking up more at our weekly distribution so that we can hand out because of that reason. So Sun Valley and North Valleys in particular are obviously farther away and not really in walking distance. So, but good catch, Susan. Yeah, I think we're all going to be affected by that.
I agree.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, moving on to 2.07, presentation and discussion of the Family Stability Pilot and future Family Resource Center sites at, it does say the Hug High School site, but it will be Wild Creek High School and O'Brien Middle School. And I can start that unless you guys want to start. Does anyone want to start? Okay, so we have been as a staff collectively been working on a family stability pilot program with quite a few partners within the community, staff within the school district, including staff in the counseling department, in family school partnerships, but also outside community agencies like Children's Cabinet, UNR, and we've partnered with them for several years. And we've been working through, and we've developed a grant, a grant proposal that we actually submitted it's been a year now. And it's really around this community school model. We see it across the nation. In Washington, they've done it quite successfully. And just to give you an understanding of what it is, community schools listen to the voice of the community, listen to the voice of the families and the students, listen to the voice of community leaders, and they develop co-located services within that school. So the school is a community hub where families can come access resources. And those can be things that family resource centers do. So family resource centers are an important part of that overall community school approach. And so for us, for family resource centers, it's providing basic needs like food, housing assistance, particularly because housing and rental rent altogether is unaffordable right now. I think the average rent price right now is about $1,200 for a 1-bedroom, and the average house size I read last week is about $630,000. So to afford rent and housing like that, you have to make a pretty significant wage. So living wage in Reno right now for a family of 4 is $30. When one person is working and the other person is staying home, and there's no childcare costs. And if you have children, you know how much childcare costs. So we're looking at continuing to partner. Now that grant was pulled because some of these ESSER funds came down. So we're looking at partnering again with UNR and hopefully applying again. We've identified some pilot schools, one of which is Sparks Middle School. The other one is potentially O'Brien and Desert Skies Middle School. Desert Skies because they already have some aspects of community school. They have communities in schools, which is different than community schools. Communities in schools work directly with students. They have family resource centers there. They also have some co-located mental health services there as well, and food pantries, some other things, after school programs. So these are some aspects of what that community is voiced that they need. Now, they would like to continue to build capacity around that and expand services to families at that particular site. So we're hoping to continue that. We know that students who have access to basic needs have better academic outcomes. It also improves their attendance because they're not hungry or they're able to engage in their schooling fully. And so we're hoping to continue that. So just wanted to give you guys an update on that. And I just want to check to see if there's any questions before I go on to the next portion.
Rebecca Paris, whose staffs that? Like who's going to be running that? Or
Yeah, so within the structure that we came up with, UNR is leading it. They would hire a staff person to coordinate those services. It could include social work interns in there, and it could include district staff as well. And so it's a little bit complicated, but within the grant that we wrote, it was run by UNR School of Social Work. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll give you guys updates as they come along. We meet monthly. We have been meeting for a couple of years. We've identified needs. We've identified current resources. We've identified gaps in resources. If you're interested, I'm happy to send along anything that you'd like to see and review. It's pretty significant. And in the end, it can be frustrating when these kinds of processes take so long, but it has given us an opportunity to really talk about everything and be really thoughtful. And so in the end, it's a good thing. It's just taken quite a bit of time, but it's prepared us for this opportunity. So we are ready to move forward with this. Okay. The second portion of that is updating you all on future family resource centers. So there is potentially a new family resource center. It will be called the Feemster Family Resource Center at Wild Creek High School. That was named a couple of months ago at one of our trustee meetings, was announced. And so that will be a new family resource center for us. Wild Creek High School is Hug High School moving over. And so that school is pretty significantly larger than Hug High School, so it will be serving a large number of students there and their families. So that's really exciting for us. And so in the future, we'll be hiring staff for that area. We'll be working in collaboration with communities and schools and their family graduation advocate there. So we're excited for that to come up and running. We have a lot of work to do hiring and training and get all of those things set up, but it's a beautiful school, lots of room, great space for food pantries, clothes closets, those kinds of things. So we're excited to be able to start some of that work over at Wild Creek when they open up. And then O'Brien Middle School, if you're not familiar with them, they've had a building that's been under construction for some time. It should be opening up, as I understand it, in August. And we will be moving from the old O'Brien Middle School to the new O'Brien Middle School sometime in August or September when it's ready to go. We currently have Jessie, who is virtual, and if you have questions for her, she can kind of give you an update on that particular site. It's a brand new site for us this year. And that's at Desert Heights Elementary. They've done some incredible stuff there in a short amount of time. They've started a clothes closet. Random noises, distracting. They started a clothes closet. They have a very large food pantry that was already existing, but they've expanded as well. They've gotten lots of donations. They've just done an incredible amount. I think Jessie said last month, Jessie, if you can hear me, I think they served 81 families. So it's grown incredibly fast in the short amount of time that it's been there since fall. Jessie, did you want to add anything?
Yes, this is Justine Segura for the record. And yes, I'm hoping you guys can hear me well.
We can.
Internet issues.
Yeah, no, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yes, so we started back in October 6th with serving 25 families, and then it kept growing from there. Last February, we wrapped up with 92 families, so the need is there, and we are growing with that. We're growing with ideas and new services for our community as they get to know where we are and who we are and what we do. The community has been very responsive and grateful for all the resources being back at the North Valley since we were off for a few years. We're very excited. We're small but mighty. Our food pantry does serve there, that Richelle mentioned, second Monday and fourth Monday at Desert Heights Elementary. The amount of families we been serving through them has grown, and the food pantry's needs have also grown. So they went from serving 10, 15 families, senior families that kept coming back, to now 55 to 75 families every second Monday and fourth Monday. So even though it is overwhelming, it has also been very satisfying to see many families being served from different ranges of community members, such as senior citizens, young couples, single parents. It's been really great. And now with the closed closet, reason why I couldn't be there today, because we're organizing and making calls and making appointments, and we're gonna be doing back-to-back dates for the next 2 weeks of spring breaks by appointment only. We've gotten a huge amount of numbers of referrals from the school counselors around the area and the North Valleys. We've made 111 appointments so far for the 2 weeks. So we're a little bit overwhelmed, but it's a good overwhelming. It's, to me, I feel like we're making good positive change. So there's a lot of good things happening, and we can't wait to transition physically to the new O'Brien Middle School and continue to serve and grow with more services for our community. I'm not sure if anyone else has more questions, but yeah, I'm super excited.
So I just want to add, the great thing is she is out at Desert Heights now, which, if you're familiar with Stead, is all the way in the back of Stead. If you go down Stead Boulevard, it's at the very end of the valley there. but she will continue to serve those families as well as O'Brien Middle School families, Stead Elementary. So that entire valley will be served by this school. And it's the principal there has been incredibly supportive. She's set aside an amazing space for family resource centers there. She's also going to include a school social worker in there, so we'll be able to work really closely with a school social worker there. So we're really excited to utilize that space, but we'll continue to support the elementary schools out there. Likely, if we are able to, staffing wise, go out and do some outreach there, because it's a far walk. If you don't have transportation, that would be far to walk from Desert Heights to O'Brien Middle School, especially if you have young children and you're holding them or you're in a stroller. That would be a far walk. So we'll still accommodate families and reach out to them. So excited for those things to happen, and hopefully we can plan some time for you guys to come out and visit and tour the new centers as they open. Any other questions?
Well, just Susan, for the record, but I'd love to tour that area, and that area had a need for a long time. So I'm glad to see that you're doing good work out there.
Thank you, Susan. We'll make sure that happens so you can come out and see all the good work that Jesse and Edith have been doing out there.
Brenda Costello, for the record, it kind of comes full circle. Our first family resource center, one of the first ones, was at Desert Heights Elementary a long time ago. So
26, 27 years ago, Family Resource Center started in this school district, so a long time. Most people don't know that we've been around for a quarter of a century in Washoe County School District.
For the record, Rachel Kingham. I was just wondering, and it might be general knowledge here, but when are you expecting the Wild Creek Center to open?
So when they open, my understanding is they'll open this fall. So they'll start having students start on the first day of school. That's my understanding. So we should probably get in there sometime in the summer to set up. And if not, then we'll set up right after school starts. So it may be a little bit of time right after school starts, but I anticipate I've been able to tour it. That area is already done and ready. They just needed to install desks, and they had some TVs and those kinds of things that they were going to install, but it's pretty much the space is done, at least for the Family Resource Center. There was still a lot of construction going on. So I anticipate around when school starts that we'll be able to get in there. Yeah. No other questions? Okay. I am moving on to 3.0 closing items, checking to see if there are any public comment.
And also no public comment via email, correct?
No, there was none. Yeah. No. Okay, moving on to 3.02. Again, next meeting announcement is June 15th, 2022 in the boardroom. And 3.03 will adjourn our meeting at 6:35. Thanks everyone for coming. We appreciate it.